Hi guys, welcome. So today's video I will be going over how to get a simple natural makeup look and just a few details on the items you need and application. So yeah, so for me I would say you need at least 7 items. So number 1 being your eyebrow pencil or eyebrow product. Actually 8 items. Okay, so number 1 being your eyebrow product, number 2 being a primer or moisturizer if you don't want to use a primer, number 3 being your foundation, number 4 being your concealer, number 5 being your setting powder for your under eye, number 6 your contour palette or bronzer, number 7 your setting spray, duh. And number 8 would be mascara to make your lashes pop. So let's go on and start the tutorial. Alright, so number 1, primer. For primer, you can use any primer you want, but I would say use like a natural finish or moisturizing primer. But if you especially if you have like dry to normal skin, but if you do have oily skin, maybe use like a matte primer around your T-zone area, wherever you get oily, and then use a regular primer for the rest of your face. But I'd say just go ahead and use a moisturizing primer, and the one I'm using is the e.l.f. Moisture Lock primer, and I'm taking this much. I'm gonna apply that on my face. I make weird voices. Wow, I make weird faces when I apply primer for some reason. I don't know if I'm the only one. If you make weird voices, why did I can say weird voices? Weird faces when you apply your primer, also comment below. And then I just go ahead and brush it in a little bit. So I like doing my brows before foundation, because I use a pencil and sometimes it doesn't show up after the foundation has been applied. But if you use like a brow powder or pomade, or I think it should be able to show up. It should show up. But I'm using a pencil, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in my brows now, and then we move on to the foundation. So for my brows, I'm using the Morphe brow pencil. This is like my favorite affordable pencil. Alright, next I'm going to move on to the foundation. And the foundation I'm using is a Revlon PhotoReady Candid foundation. This is my favorite go-to foundation or drugstore, because it gives you just a like natural and really nice finish. So I'm going to just do like 3 pumps. 1, 2, 2.5-ish pumps, so as not to put a lot. And I'm going to apply it on my face with my fingers. I'm just going to dot it all over. So I still have a little bit at the back of my hand, and this is going to be for if I need to touch up any other place on my face. So yeah, so I'm gonna use a brush to blend it out, and I'm stroking it downwards. Look at that. Oh my god. Okay, so once that's done, you want to go in and you want to go ahead and apply your concealer. And the concealer I'm using today is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Concealer. Alright, since we're going for a more natural look, I like using a concealer shade that's at least 1 shade lighter than I am. This one's yeah, it's about like 0.5 to 1 shade lighter than my skin tone. So I like using a concealer that's still close to my natural skin tone, just so it doesn't look too bright like I put a lot of makeup on, since we want that natural look. Alright, so I'm gonna let this sit for a minute for it to set a little bit, and then I'm gonna blend it out. So you want to start by blending out the edges, and you're doing that in like a tap-in stippling motion. And once you've done the edges, then you want to start going in gradually. I'm also gonna apply that concealer on my lid to prime it and cancel out the natural color of it. Alright, so next, once you've blended out the concealer really well, really well, take your time. Don't make sure you don't see any splotches and stuff here and there. Once you've done that, then you set it with your powder. And the powder I'm using is the Makeup Obsession Pure Bake Powder in Topaz, also from Target. So I'm mainly using affordable products that should be within your reach. So yeah. And to apply this, I'm gonna go in with the sponge. Okay, I got a different sponge. This is an e.l.f. sponge that I got from, you can get it from either Walmart or Target and online also. I have used it once. Don't be like me. So I'm just gonna dip into the powder and then dust off any excess on the cover. And I usually start from the inner part of my eye and just press it in. And I just went back to the excess from the cover instead of going back to dip in, just the excess from the cover, and apply that on the other side. Oh no! So I just spilled my powder, the whole thing. I can't cry because of the makeup. Okay, I got a little before everything spilled, so I'm just gonna try and work with that. I'm gonna set my laugh lines, and to do that, I blow out or I blow in. I blow. And I puff out my mouth, or I puff my mouth. I don't know this grammar. And then I just put the powder to set the sides. And then you just want to press it in very well. And if your forehead is looking a little bit too shiny, you can go in with a little bit of powder also and work that in. Once I've done pressing in the powder, I go in and use a big fluffy brush to either dust off any excess or press it in. And just blend out any harsh lines that might have been there. Alright, the next step is contouring or bronzing. I would advise getting a contour palette. This one's the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette because it has a deep color or shade, a light to like medium shade, and then it has a highlighter, so you get 3 for 1. So I'm gonna go into both shades, dust off any excess. And if you don't know which place to apply your contour yet, you can do the whole fish face and you apply it at the bottom part. Lightly. Also, if you don't want to contour or bronze or anything, you can just be done with like setting up the concealer in your whole face and call it a day. But contouring or bronzing is just to bring back warmth to the face. One more. And once you're done contouring or bronzing your face, if you decide to go that route, then you set all your work so it doesn't move around, and just to bring out a more dewy, let me scoot in a little bit so you can see. You see, you're not looking cakey, you're not looking pancakey, you're not looking powdery, you know. You're just looking just right. Doesn't look like I have that much makeup, if any, so Alright, so you want to set your whole face just to lock in your work. And to do that, I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Cucumber Setting Spray. I'm almost out. I may switch to a different one. Yeah, nothing's there. But this is a really good setting spray, and it's also affordable, so which is why I wanted to use it. I'm just gonna switch to, alright, I'm gonna switch to the e.l.f. setting spray, setting mist. Or if you want that actual dewiness, especially if you're normal or dry, you can use a moisturizing or like hyaluronic setting spray. I know ColourPop Cosmetics, they have a hyaluronic setting spray, so you can use that. Ah, my ear. This is such a powerful nozzle, like, okay. So yeah, once you set your face with a setting spray, you want to let that dry up. And if you feel like you want more of that dewiness, you can go one more time after this is dried down to see if you need it or not. So yeah. Okay, so once the setting spray has dried down, you want to go in with your highlighter if you still want to highlight for an extra glow. This is my face without highlighting. I think I like this way. It looks more natural. But yes, for the sake of the video, I will go in with a little highlighter. So I'm just going to tap in. Always dust off excess if you're using a powder product. And then I'm going to go in like a swirly or circular motion rather. Very light and very faint because we want that natural look. No highlighter. Highlighter. So not much of a difference, which is good. If you have texture, like a little like pimple or something like I do here, you might want to go really light on the highlighter, especially if it's powder, because it does bring out like the textures on your face. So yeah, or you can use a cream or liquid highlighter. But yeah, you can go in once again with a setting spray just to bring everything together. If not, this is quite fine since you didn't put a lot, so it's not that noticeable. And make sure there are no harsh lines also with the application of the highlighter. So yeah guys, that's basically how you get a natural looking dewy skin with makeup. Does she have makeup? Does she not have makeup on? Are you wearing makeup? Are you not? You keep them guessing. But yeah, another close-up. But yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a thing or two or three or four or five or six or seven or eight. And yeah, if you try out this technique or if you decide to follow this video, let me know in the comment section below, and also maybe like tag me or something in your post so I can see your work. But yeah, thanks to those who requested this video. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time by God's grace.